Hey, yo, Broken Plays is back. We've been on a hiatus. Mans were sick, and then Mans were on the IR because they were sick. You know when you get that notification on your fantasy lineup out due to illness? That was like almost everyone on this roster. But we back, and we ready to talk shop. But first, I have to ask my boys how they doing. Jalen, how you doing?
We're blessed, you know. I got my voice sound like Doc Rivers right now, but we're gonna fight through it for the people.
We're gonna fight through it.
Yo,
We're gonna do what we need to
It's not Blake's fault. It's not Blake's fault.
and
do.
yo, Perry, how we doing?
Bro, when I tell you, I didn't think I'd make it here to talk to you guys. I was sick. I was so sick like Neo. And now I'm out here. I'm surviving and I'm thriving. So it's
So,
good
so,
seeing
so,
you
so it was the
all.
love song that I got you, huh?
That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like I was so sick. I was listening to love songs about love I didn't have. It was crazy. I was no word of a lie. You ever get sick and you start missing people you know you don't miss?
Yeah.
Ask me how I
Oh,
missed my grade
damn.
three.
Okay, yo, you were down bad, huh?
I missed my grade three girlfriend. When I was in grade when I was in grade three, I dated a girl for 20 minutes, man. She broke up with me before lunchtime, but after snack time. I was missing
It's a
her.
cold world, bro.
I don't even know her name. It's tougher than a well done steak out here.
So,
Bina, how you living?
we gotta talk about we gonna talk about some hockey mixed with some basketball because like one of our brothers who plays hockey, PK Subban, said a bunch of stuff about the NBA. No, most notably in the interview, it was on First Take, and you know when First Take is talking about hockey, you know it's a big game. When Stephen A. Smith puts a hockey player on the show, you know it's a big game. So he went on to talk about how um, hockey players play through injury, basketball players don't. He talked about hockey players play with more passion than basketball players do, and this was all talking about the Four Nations face-off, which Canada won. Shout out to our great country. Um, so I know you guys heard the rant. Jilan, I'll start with you. What did you make of what PK Subban said?
Uh, I think that it was kind of a slippery slope, but
Mm,
for the most part, I agree with what he's saying. And I think the premise that I want to address is the fact that there's a very big difference in the cultures between hockey and basketball. And I think the biggest difference, so like if we look at hockey, I'm not a hockey dude. I don't watch hockey religiously. If hockey's on and it's overtime, I'll watch it. If it's the playoffs
hmm
and ain't nothing else, I'll watch it. And I find myself watching the Four Nations. Now, I was watching the Four Nations because I know enough about hockey to be interested in this tournament. And what we saw with the Four Nations was is what we've been
hmm
from begging for from the Olympics and the World Championships. We wanted a tournament in which we could see the best of the best in our sport play against each other, have it be meaningful, and have them actually try.
mm
Because when you think about it, the Four Nations tournament is not a prestigious tournament. It's
mm
new. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what we got from the Four Nations tournament. It was exciting. They played their ass off. Some of them were playing injured, and all that just to represent their country.
mm.
If we look at basketball, LeBron didn't play in the Olympics since 2012, and it's not a question of him being unhealthy or unavailable or anything like that. He chose not to. Steph Curry, same thing. I know some of them were due to injury. Some of them were due. One of them was due to injury. My apologies. Um, but the biggest stars in the NBA don't do these tournaments, and that's why the teams like Serbia, like Spain, Germany, all these countries are now producing all-star level talents because they've now caught up. They put the money into the development of their programs, and they've now caught up. How many of you watched the World Championships of basketball last year when we watched Jalen Brunson and Austin Reeves on the court?
I would say that I did watch it, but I was watching it because I knew what Canada had. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah.
So like that's my point. Like we're not watching the best of the best. So our investment level isn't as high as the dudes who religiously watch hockey and love hockey compared to this Four Nations tournament. And then I'll end on this. If we think about, I can remember vividly Russell Westbrook's MVP season. He had 4 games in a row. He had Orlando, Miami, Brooklyn, and New York. And in each city that he went to, there was somebody who traveled from thousands of miles just to see him play. There was a dude from Taiwan, a dude from Malaysia, and a dude from a couple other countries in the other games. The dude from Taiwan went to the Brooklyn game, and he was in tears when he went to see Russell Westbrook because it's been a long time coming that he's been trying to save up the money in order to do so. I think that's what the NBA players sort of forget that that's kind of who they're playing for in a sense. And what I mean by that is the Joel Embiid, the Paul Georges, the guys who choose to sit out. We know that there's somebody who's traveled from however far away, saved up however much to come and see him play, and for you to sit out when you are capable of playing is disrespectful in my opinion. And that's the culture difference that PK Subban is talking about. People play hurt, like Sidney Crosby was playing hurt, and he's a star of Canada. He was playing hurt throughout this entire tournament, but he did it because he knows representing your country is bigger, but he also plays hurt throughout the season. So I think what PK Subban was alluding to is when he asked, "What are you playing for?" I don't think they're playing for rings anymore. I don't think rings matter to them as much. I think they're literally just playing for the money. And because the NBA money is guaranteed, their will to play through every game, to play through injuries, diminishes. I'm all for player empowerment, but we have to understand that there's two sides of a coin.
Perry, before I go to you, I just want to touch on something that Jalen said because you talked about Sidney Crosby. Before one of the games, he didn't like explicitly say it, but he basically said like, "My team, the Pittsburgh Penguins, we ain't gonna win a Stanley Cup this year," like straight up, right? But he said, "This is the tournament that's most important right now because I can win something."
Mm-hmm.
And that goes to your point about putting it all on the ice, playing with that heart, playing with that passion, put it on the jersey for your country. This man is injured. He's LeBron old, like not as old as LeBron, but like he's been like Sidney
Close to
Crosby's
it.
been he's pushing, and he's been killing it for some time. So to see him in a tournament like that, that was impressive because like when you see the best of the best on the ice and Sidney Crosby is part of that conversation, it's like seeing LeBron like play with all the top guys. At the Olympics when we saw LeBron play with Curry and stuff with KD and
It
that
was
was
fire.
yeah, exactly. We were all dialed in, locked in. But this is like, and the time frame that the NHL used was the time frame of the NHL All Star Game, and that's why I think the NBA could do something like that. Make a tournament that like a little tournament, a couple days, and then like even if the All Star Game goes back to USA versus World or like a 4 nation mini tournament or something, it will help. It will help because it's going to be the best of the best, and people will be suiting up for the countries and play with more heart. But Perry, I'll let you take it away now because I know you got a lot to say.
I think the issue is like twofold. So I understand it, or threefold. I understand it from like an owner's view, being you want to maximize your product, maximize your dollar, like you want to get your stuff out there. I can understand it from a consumer's view. I am a consumer, like I want to watch like the best of the best play. But now let's dig deeper. It's cool and all to talk about like playing through injury and things of that sort, but where's Isaiah Thomas? I don't think he's the only player that went through what he went through. Seeing him play his
Sorry,
heart
which
out,
one? Which one?
Celtics.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm happy you made the delineation. I appreciate that. But if you look at what happened with him, if I'm a player in the NBA, I think I said this to hate him, like after like a random gym run, I would never play through injury again. Like never. I've seen how the owners like do players. Don't ask me to play through injury. It's not happening. Like I would never play through injury. So what Paul George is doing, what Joel Embiid is doing, I might not like it, but at the end of the day, I can't speak against it because I've seen how willing they are to do someone the way they did Isaiah Thomas. Fortunately, like maybe I'm tarring and feathering like all of the GMs and owners like under one like paint color, but at the end of the day, I'm not willing to take the risk. If I'm a player, I see how you did Isaiah Thomas, you're not doing me the same way. So it sucks. It's unfortunate, but what happens to the players in the NBA that play through injury? They get shipped out quicker than 2-day shipping at Amazon. What happens to the players that don't? They end up playing 20 years. If I can make whatever money I'm making for 20 years, I'm eating. Nah, like I get it, I understand it, but PK Subban, like if you're gonna talk to people about the NBA and their shortcomings, then you need to talk about the people who set the culture and that starts from the top, respectfully.
And I hate them. Thank you for joining us. You a little late. You late for the plane? Yo, should we suspend him on
Bro,
some
We'll give
Joel
him a fine. We'll
Embiid
give him a
shit?
fine.
Wait, was it Joel Embiid who was late for a plane?
it
No,
was
that's
I think
no,
so.
that's
Yeah.
Zion Williams. He had to get
it was
Wendy's.
Zion.
Remember?
He was in the Wendy's drive-thru.
I thought that was Photoshop. Was that not
Yo,
Photoshop?
I hate them. Yo, I hate them. I know
It was.
this was more your idea, and we were just talking about the PK Subban thing. So give us your thoughts.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't get it. Like he talked. I told Jailer about this already. He was bringing up Jordan a bunch of times. No, I'm just asking you a question. He was like, "Yo, Jordan carried this." I have a question for you. How old is PK Subban? Just.
35.
Oh, he's 35 years old. So when Michael Jordan was winning championships, right? So like he's born in '98, right? So
No,
He
30,
was born
30,
80, no?
89.
30.
Who?
No, I was just gonna say like your timelines were a little wrong. 30 means he was born in 1990.
Yeah, no, he was born in '89. So right
89.
now, so we go '89. So like, when did we all start watching basketball?
Thank you. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you're hitting us with this Perry argument. Get him.
No, but like, when did we all start watching basketball? So he's telling me he's like, oh yeah, so I started watching basketball when I was what, 7 years old?
Too.
No. But he's we'll watch at the end of Michael Jordan's career. You know what I mean? Because he went hard at the end of his career, right? You know, I saw the last part of his career. So when the guy was 30, 36 years old, 37, right? He's telling him that, right? So he's 36, right? 35, right? So why didn't he name LeBron? He purposely left LeBron off the list, right? So he wants a 40-year-old to carry the league still. Why is he not in the NHL? Oh,
Because he's trash.
because at 35, 36, you don't really do much. You don't carry anything. It's supposed to be the young guys, right?
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see. I honestly, out of all the
No,
ways this
you don't
argument
expect the
could
whole
have
night to
taken,
carry.
no, I get you, but I didn't think that that's where you were to bring it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
I really,
no,
like I
but like
heard all of the
logically,
information. If you were to pause me right there, I'd be like, okay, you're trying to say like he's too young to appreciate a Michael Jordan career. Nope,
That's what I thought
nope.
this was going. And
That's
now,
that's what I thought he
I'm
He
was
sitting
just said
saying.
here
he's trash.
confused. I'm straight up sitting here confused about where this argument went.
no,
Because I'm like, bro,
Literally,
like,
Bang,
Perry,
he just said,
Perry,
nah, that nigga's
like,
trash. That's why he's
yo,
asking
Perry,
him.
I thought the same thing as you. I
bro,
thought this guy was
everybody
gonna hit.
was,
Cause
bro. I
remember
listened to
when you
this.
called out Jalen? You're like, yo, Jalen, were you even alive when this man was playing
That's
ball?
what he said.
Yo,
That's how he said
Goodrich.
it.
That's
That's what
what
he
I thought. That's
said.
where I thought he was going. And then he said this.
no. But like, my question is, it's just like everybody that wants to get into media, what do they do? What do they do when they get into media? If you want to be relevant
Michael Jordan Glaze. Michael Jordan Glaze.
and hate shit on LeBron, right? That's the only thing you can do. I'm gonna shit on
Well,
LeBron.
Shannon Sharp hasn't.
Yeah, but Shannon Sharp goes he goes the complete opposite, bro. Like it's not even
Shannon Sharp said that the Lakers would beat OKC in 5.
Yeah. You know, he said
It
OKC,
can happen.
KFC,
KFC,
UFC.
UFC,
Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5.
but
Nah,
Low
bro.
key, I understand the confidence he has in these Lakers.
no.
But Hazen, finish your
But
point.
like my point is, it's just one of those things where like you can't come on the media and just be like, yo, say all these crazy things like, oh, hockey has all these like we have pride, we have this. Yo, Google PK Subban. Just write PK Subban, and then literally right after his name, there's gonna be dirty player after. That's like Meta World Peace coming and being like, yo, I don't like the NBA today.
It's not physical enough.
It's not physical enough, bro. There's no pride, there's no this. But nigga, when you were in the NBA, you were just hitting niggas. Do you know what I mean? You're being called dirty.
But
Like,
the thing, sorry, I don't agree with that last point. Just
what do
because
you mean?
PK Subban at one point in his career was the best. He was the best at his position. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bean.
No. PK Subban was an elite defender. Like
For how
this guy was.
long?
Yo, this guy was at this
For
guy
the
was like
majority of his
probably
career, if I remember correctly.
yeah.
He got shipped off. Don't get this twisted, bro. He was on the Montreal.
No, he got
He was on
okay, no,
Montreal.
you're right.
He
He
was
got
good
shipped.
for like
He got
2
shipped
years,
off to Nashville.
and
They shipped him off, but the reason why they like we're still trying to figure out why exactly he got shipped off. But one of the reasons is because his teammates didn't like him.
oh, his teammates didn't like
What
him.
about the passion? What about the passion?
He was considered a dirty
Yo,
player.
Drake has
He
a
was
lyric for
basically trying to
this,
pull
and I'm putting
Kobe
him in the
without
Drake
Kobe
bucket.
like skill set.
I'm
Can we
I'm
agree on
I'm
that?
putting him in the I'm putting him in the Drake bucket. Bench players talking like starters, I hate it. So if he was really that good and nobody liked him and he was getting shipped off everywhere, how are you gonna talk about improving the quality of sports? Improve the quality of your team relations, bro.
That part's well.
Am I
But
wrong?
like
Like
How do you improve a
we
league
can't
if you
we
can't
can't
improve a team?
say we can't say he was irrelevant when for like the majority of his career he was a top 5 defenseman in the league.
he wasn't for his majority. It was probably 3 years he was good. It's like being an all
No,
star
no,
for
no. It
2
was
years.
more. It was more. Yo, fam. It was more than 3 years. It was more than three
No,
years.
but
I don't
my
know
question
enough about hockey to say what I'm saying, but like MVPs don't get traded.
me and Jayla, when we watched hockey, bro, no one cared about the PK Subban, bro.
That's
Literally,
what I'm saying. Like
That's because he was
MVPs don't get
black.
traded.
That's
only
completely
reason
different.
we
No,
cared about him, just call a spade a spade.
Because he was
Okay,
black,
there you go.
100%.
no, 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 no.
I'm not
Yo,
gonna
no,
lie.
no.
See?
But
Yo,
And this is a Montreal nigga
he was
too.
still
I
cold.
live in
This is,
Montreal,
this is
and
Montreal.
people cared about PK in Montreal. Yo, people in Montreal love the man.
Loved.
But
Past tense.
First take is in LA.
It's because
What's that do then?
because
That means like
PK
it's not
Subban is an
Montreal no more.
NHL analyst for ESPN.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
my
not
thing
it's
is
not
the only
Montreal no
way for
more.
him to get famous was to roast NBA players. You didn't need to talk like that. Now you're basically going into people's pockets. That was my bottom line of this whole situation. You're trying to make a name for yourself, but you're also trying to ruin the NBA brand in a sense. And it's like
I see why people
But
didn't like him.
he didn't call
I'm
ownership.
joking.
He didn't call ownership. He didn't call the commish out because that's a change of rules that they made, right? They made a change of rules to the
fair.
game. They made it less
Absolutely.
physical. When someone's forcing physicality on you, what do you do when you start playing with them? Don't you get more physical?
Mhm.
So if you're removing every physicality of the game, then you're saying, yo, this game's not physical. It's like, yo, they changed the rules. The owners are forcing me to sit. But he's not blaming those niggas. You know what I mean?
Yo, just
No, that's absolutely fair, and I agree with both your points. But my point is, the premise of his entire argument is not wrong. He's saying the reason that the Four Nations tournament was so successful is because of the things he alluded to, the sense of pride, the sense of the fact that the very best of the sport represented their country without question, without hesitation, and were playing through injury
But
regardless
Jalen,
of the
my fault. Hey,
consequence.
I'm stealing
That
that
is the
one.
premise of his argument, and I agree with that premise because in basketball they don't do the same. That is what I'm saying.
I have a question. Can I go before you?
yo, what's up? Was Perry? Yeah, Perry, go and then Hatham.
So I get that, but like if you look at the core of the argument and if you look at the assumptions that you have to make with this argument, he's blaming the players and not the coach, like ownership. And when you blame the players and not the
Fair.
ownership,
Yeah,
that's like
you're right about that.
me calling a customer service line and screaming at the person who answers my calls, the customer service representative, for a rule the company made. My point initially, and what I thought, my bad, Hayden, I got you too. What I thought Hayden was getting to is you can't talk about the old All-Star games when Jordan was there if you weren't alive to genuinely appreciate the event. My point is we've already seen what happens to those players that play with the aforementioned passion that he referred to. What happens to those players is that they get forgotten, they get shipped off, and they play in Shanghai. What happens with
They can't
like
make the
the
league
ownership?
anymore with the new rules.
Exactly.
It's all skill based.
Sure.
I'm
So
sorry.
like my point being, no, you're good. But my point being is like you can't go in and put the ownership on the players when we've literally watched in real time. Like PK Subban, I invite you to watch the last 10 years of the NBA and find each and every one of those players you find passionate about and see how their careers ended.
So, are you
Uh,
talking about guys like Dwight Howard?
No, okay. I think this all stems based off the All Star game,
At
right?
the top of my list, I have Isaiah
yes.
Thomas. At the top of my list, I have Isaiah Thomas because the point that he mentions that I don't like, especially as a professional athlete, is that he's mentioning that we like they need to play through injury. We watch player after player after player after player. The only player I've really seen get taken care of with like an what should have been or what could have like likely been a career-ending injury is Kevin Durant.
Kobe.
Who else gets taken? He got taken care of off the Achilles.
For the last time he won a championship was 31.
Okay, then you know what, Kobe.
2010.
Then we have, but then we have two players. But then we have two players, right? My point isn't to find all the exceptions, Tatum. My point is to find the people.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Are you done?
Yeah.
You're finished?
Yeah.
All right. So you named three like guaranteed Hall of Famers. We named three guaranteed Hall of Famers. But what happens to the average All-Star that plays? Like we named three generational talents. We named Kobe, we named Kevin Durant, and we named who was the third? Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens to like the players that aren't of that ilk?
Oh, I agree with you, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
But
And that's why I feel like that point is irresponsible, especially coming from a professional athlete. Like I'm not having it coming from a professional athlete.
No, but you know what's funny? You mentioning that is interesting because that is basically PK Subban. He was the best defenseman in 2013. He won the award, like the MVP for defensemen in hockey, the Norris Trophy. He won that, right, in 2013. 2013, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. He was an all-star. He was a perennial all-star. But like what I'm saying is that you just highlighted his career. A guy who's constantly on the all-star team, a guy who has played for Team Canada, but then got shunned out.
And won.
And then why he get shut down? Because once he got injured, ownership didn't see him as the same guy. Ownership didn't have that same love for him, which is the same way in any job if you don't produce the same way. But like, did this man play through injury? Probably. Could he have played more years had he sitting down? Probably. Did he? Nah. If what you're saying of me being correct is correct, so how can I then look at his words and be like take them with anything more than a grain of salt? Like it doesn't really make sense to me.
I get what you're saying, Quabs, but that's like the same thing as Rudy Gobert coming in 10 years, 20 years and being like, yo, the NBA is not that great. Or the NHL is not that great. You know what I mean?
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm adding to your point, saying that like you're talking about guys who gave it their all, who were all-stars, played with passion, and then forgotten about. And Perry, did you not say that like who remembers PK?
I remember PK. He was good.
I can't say that. I never said that because I've never really watched hockey.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I heard someone say like people
It was
don't remember
probably
PK like that.
That sounds like
People are
J-Lo.
gonna remember him because he was a black athlete. Like me and Jayla are gonna remember him.
Time out. I don't need to catch strays for no reason, Perry. We're not doing this, Perry.
You got a thing, Quabs?
Pardon?
I said we're gonna remember him because he was a black athlete.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. But like I'm saying, like he fits that argument of like he was also a good defenseman. I don't think we can take that away.
We're gonna remember him because he was a black athlete that was successful in the sport.
He was a successful defenseman. He's a more than 5-time All-Star. He won the Norris Trophy for the best defenseman.
Who won defensive player last year?
Adam Fox.
Yo, this guy. Yo, this guy really came. Yo, this guy came prepared. This guy came prepared.
What's wrong with you? Adam Fox.
I thought you said Rick Fox for a second. I was like, yo. But anyways, I think it was just it was blasphemy to just roast the All-Star game. The All-Star game was just bad this year. It was good. Like, remember when they were drafting? It was entertaining. When they had the teams that were drafting, it was entertaining, bro. Remember when KD didn't pick Harden? Was that not funny?
Yeah, but my point, the problem we have is that when they come time to play,
it was exciting.
The product is garbage.
Bro, Curry, when he had 50 points, that was fucking exciting.
One thing, I have to make one correction. It was Quinn Hughes who won last year. Adam Fox did win it, but it was like 2 years ago. 2-3 years ago. Anyways, continue. But Jalen knows something, so it's all good. We'll give him that.
Who won it last year?
Last year was, give me a second.
Rick Fox.
PK Subban.
Eric Carlson 2023, Cale Makar 2022, Adam Fox 2021.
Cale Makar, I should have gone with that. That's my guy.
But anyways, we can talk about PK all day. Why is he not in the league?
Yo,
I have a question.
Honestly, hate them. I'll start with you for the next topic because we're literally diving into that. What the hell can be done to save the All-Star game?
Oh, I've already come up with the solution before. Easy.
Nah, I hate them's here to save the day.
Yo, it's easy. Easy. What do NBA players care more about?
Money.
The money.
Money. So, there's two opportunities you get. Winning team. You get 20 free technicals. You can do whatever you want. You don't get fined. Regardless. No. You can get 20 free technicals. Put it on the thing. So I can call you a bitch if I feel like it. Just resend it, bro. Just resend it. Because at that point, they'll try, bro. When they want to call a ref, you're a bitch. They're gonna, bro. What are you gonna do? Give them
with no
There's
repercussions.
no repercussion. I can go to the
Yeah,
media
tell them,
and
Hatham.
call them. Yo, I can say anything I want about their mom, their daddy, their grandma, their sister. That's it. And then the second one is that if they win, you get the benefits of Texas and Florida. So your paychecks will be for the rest of the season. You'll get those paychecks when if you go to Miami, they'll pile up. So you get the no state income tax. So now you don't have to worry about state income tax. So like the guys that are in like California, those guys will be trying hard because they're gonna be like, yo, I'm not losing 20% of my taxes, right?
That's a government thing, though.
No, but I'm saying that's a government thing. But now because every time you go play in Miami or you play in any of the Texas states, that paycheck doesn't get taxed, right? Just compile it all
Because you're getting
together.
paid by the Heat.
No, you don't get
I'm
paid by
asking.
you get paid for whatever state you're working in, right? That's how it's like. That's how it is, right? So you get paid like if I'm like home games are going to be 41% of the games are going to be state free if you're a Dallas Mavericks fan or Dallas player. But now, if I'm on the road, let's say I'm going to Dallas one day I get my whole paycheck then instead of later on down the season. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay,
You know
okay,
what
I
I'm saying?
get you.
Those are my two recommendations. Sorry.
Jalen, what do you got?
The only thing I could come up with would be to have the winning team they get $5 million to split between them. The losing team gets taken away $5 million. So they have to pay into a pot $5 million. And then that money goes towards like they donate to charity or they start a fund or something like that. But they gotta put together $5 million to pay. That would be the only thing that I could think of. But again, I think it comes down to the league not incentivizing and constantly changing the format.
Yeah, I think there's no
I think is
consistency.
the biggest thing. Like you need to have something stable, something that's a proven product, and you need to stick with it. Are there going to be lean years in which it might not be that appealing? Sure, but if I look at the MLB All Star Game, every year that shit is hype.
Mm.
Every year that shit is hype because we have the best doing the best doing the home run derby, and the All Star Game is actually close between the National League and the American League. So I think that if they keep the same format in terms of like whatever it is, stick with the format, something that the players can actually buy into, and just have some consistency, that might help.
Well, I think like Hatham's point of bringing back the drafting, I didn't think like yes there was a drop off in play, but I think if you add money incentives and you keep the draft thing, I think you have a product there, and then it keeps consistency because some of those games like the NBA All Star Game has been shit for years, but it was that part like the All Star Weekend is what's garbage, right? When we had those games where you had LeBron and KD drafting or LeBron and Giannis, those games were like I'm looking at like oh LeBron's going to play with Curry, Giannis drafted KD and Shea. I'm like thinking about that. I'm like yo that's a game I want to watch because the best of the best. But I think it needed some in like money incentive so these guys actually duel. But it sucks that it has to be money, right? It like they should just be playing for that, and I think that that's where I agree with PK Subban.
Well, I don't think they should just be playing for free because I think we came from a time in which they were damn near doing that, and
They
they
were
were
getting
putting their
exploited.
bodies on the
Yeah,
line for
yeah,
basically for free. So I can understand why money is so important, especially because the money they're giving out now is generational wealth.
yes.
Like their entire family tree is set, give or take, right?
Mm.
But uh, I do think that they have to incentivize the stars to compete in these events. Because if I have to see another dunk contest in which Max Buzelis is dunking, I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot.
Who?
Yeah,
He's not the best dunker. Like people want to see
John
the
Morant.
Jalen Greens, the LeBrons,
No,
the
no,
maybe
no,
not
no,
Jalen
no,
Green because he
wait,
was ass
wait, wait.
in the
Time out, time out,
last
time
dunk
out, time out.
contest.
We saw
But
Jalen Green. That was shit. Anyways,
yeah,
continue.
I literally just said that. I corrected myself. My fault, again. But we want to see like the best dunk and be in the dunk contest. You know, like we want to see John Morant. I want to see his bitch ass in the dunk contest. Zion Williamson in the dunk contest. People that are going to actually like sell tickets. Sorry, one last thing before I hand it over. My fault, Perry. Um, I think Hatham had brought this up before, but the winning conference automatically getting home court advantage in the NBA Finals. I think that's another dope incentive because I think that's huge.
Can
Mm.
I add one
So
more?
you're thinking like, so with that one, you would bring back East versus West and put like home court advantage on the line.
And then I would change the format so it's the first two at home and then three on the road.
Mm.
How they had it before.
Perry, I know we've been talking a lot. What you got to say?
So I have a couple ideas.
Yeah, what's up?
Can anybody tell me who the winner of the 2018 Skills Challenge was? Without Googling. Thank you. So we should remove the
That's
Skills
Carl
Challenge.
Towns. Carl Towns.
It was
Okay.
the bigs. The bigs did it.
Yeah.
That's cute to know, but that doesn't really serve my point, so we're gonna answer that as if you didn't know.
Sounds
I think Jason Tatum won it from half court the year after. Remember
Are
that?
we finished?
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Let me know when you're finished, Tatum. No. Let me know when you're finished. Perfect.
I'm done.
So I'm thinking we remove the skills challenge and we do a one-on-one by position. 7 seconds. That's the first one. Number two, I think it's time for our boy DeMarcus to make a comeback. DeMarcus Cousins versus Brittany Griner. That's two. Number
I
three,
rock with it. I rock with it.
if you're in the All-Star game and you win MVP, I believe your team should have an extra 3 wins if you're in the playoff push. There should be 3 wins added to your total. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. However, if you're not in that playoff projection, I do believe that your odds in the lottery should be elevated by at least 4%.
Wait, what? Repeat, sorry.
So, like, if I'm like the 13th seed, rather than giving me an extra 3 wins, give me an extra like 4 to 5% in the lottery. So you know how like usually they take like a certain amount of like bingo balls or whatever, they put it in like some machine and then they pull out. My team gets extra balls in there. Pause.
Pause, Booker.
What's the next one?
It was like that was two ideas in one. So if I'm in like if
Yeah.
I'm within the 10th seed, sorry, if I'm within 10 and whatever, like 10 and 1, I get 3 added wins to like my total. So that would help with like any half court or whatever. You know how those are determined by like 1 or 2 points. Then if I'm out of that position, rather than giving me those 3 wins, give me extra odds in the lottery.
It's also mad interesting too because the one remember how like they were having like the 3 point competition with like Steph versus Sabrina
Hmm.
and like Caitlyn, and you know how the woman like declined.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the woman declined, and the speculation behind why they declined is because the women's basketball game is at the top right now, right? Caitlyn Clark, Sabrina, like a lot of people are watching women's basketball. So
Oh,
why?
okay.
So yeah. So why should the women go into the men's All Star game and help sell their product? Because more people are gonna watch that the 3 point competition if they're watching Caitlyn Clark
If
and
the NBA
Sabrina.
if the NBA sells, the WNBA benefits off of it.
No, no,
What are we
no,
doing?
no, no. The NBA subsidizes the WNBA, so they should come out.
Like, what are we doing?
No, I understand that, but I think the players didn't want to like. There was this whole thing about like the
Because
players
that's
not wanting to be
stupid. What
equipped.
the hell?
Yeah, that a lot of people were talking about that
Isn't
element
a
of it.
max like 200K in the WNBA?
Yeah,
And they're turning down advertising that would drive up ticket sales that would then allow
bro.
them to earn more as a
What's
league.
going on, fam?
Yeah,
It's
See
because they're
What
what?
is
betting on
going on?
themselves now.
yeah.
But like
Mina,
this
this
bet has
losing
not
bet.
been paying.
They've been betting on
J-Rob, would you
themselves for
bet on
30 years,
yourself?
bro.
Never mind. Oh wow.
Yo. I have something to elaborate on J-Lo's thing about stars coming out. I didn't get to say, bro.
You go ahead.
What was the best dunk contest we've ever
Stars
seen?
coming out for what? Sorry.
What was the best dunk contest we've ever seen in our lives? Let's talk about like no
Well,
nostalgia.
according to PK Subban, it was the Vince Carter one when he put his elbow in the rim.
I remember that.
Okay, so but what's the most iconic one? Let's be realistic. Let's
The
The
Vince
Toronto one.
the Vince Carter one.
no, the Toronto one's the best dunk contest, right?
Yeah.
I could say Eric Gordon probably had like what top 3 dunks of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like jumping over someone and sitting, the spinning top. Remember when he was
Yeah,
spinning?
the
Yeah,
mascot.
the mascot, and jumping over and doing through the legs. Those are crazy dunks. Did he win?
I think Zach. I'm cool with Zach LaVine winning.
No, but okay,
That year,
okay.
Zach LaVine winning was fair.
No, but I'm saying the year after he came in, he tried to go again.
That one he got robbed by Dwayne Wade. Yeah,
So
facts.
the league was just doing it on purpose. Like the league is ruining the game. Why did they have Dwayne Wade there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what
Because
I'm saying.
Make that decision.
he's an NBA legend. I don't know.
There was a
Like,
Well,
Miami
he got
Heat player
rewarded
in
with
it.
a statue.
There was a Miami
He
Heat
got
player.
rewarded with a
Right?
statue.
Oh yeah, who's in it? Derrick Jones
That's what I'm
Jr.
saying. There was a Miami Heat player
Mm.
in it. He's gonna vote for him. Like if he has a deciding vote, he's gonna vote for his boy. It's like if JLo went to a skills competition and we were judges, and JLo turned the ball and went out of bounds, and some other guy dunked it. I'm gonna have to give JLo the points, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like
You're my fucking dog, Hater. Yes, sir.
you know what I mean?
Yo,
I
spread
get
that,
you.
Hater. Spread that. Yes, sir.
I got you too, Cubs.
yo, I can't even argue that point. Like, I want to argue. I want to be like logical and like fair and argue that point, but I can't. Like that's facts.
You know what I mean? You're gonna
That's-
get your boy. I have to see you every day.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine I didn't vote for you. You know what I mean?
Yo, imagine not voting for
On national
Jalen in that
television?
moment.
His hands.
Yo,
On
bro.
His hands
national
with you, Reeves, bro.
television?
Yo,
On national
Jalen is
TV, how
petty.
niggas didn't vote for
On
you?
Jalen
national
is petty.
TV,
Let's
they
not
zoom in
forget.
on me and I didn't vote for you? That one's
Yo,
crazy.
Jalen's petty. Mans can't
Yeah,
forget
go
that.
ahead.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yo, this
But
guy.
all-
This guy will text you and like be like, "Yo, I'm exposing all your secrets." No,
Oh
I'm
no,
like, yo,
I'm slashing tires, 100%.
yo.
But I have another idea. What if we make it the All Stars from like where they're actually from?
What if you're from Zimbabwe?
So like if we divide the map, what you mean? What you say?
What if you're like from Zimbabwe?
Yeah, USA versus the world.
Oh, okay.
Yo, bro.
What you mean?
You said where you're from. There's only gonna be two guys from Akron, LeBron and Curry, and then the rest of the guys.
No, but like
Like,
yeah, they'll be on
That's
TV
why I'm
USA.
confused. Oh,
No,
okay.
okay.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I
That's
understand
not
where
what
you're
I
coming from
understood.
now, but I'm not gonna lie, Jalen. When you first said that, I thought you meant by state. So I'm like, yo, there's 50
There's 50
fucking
states.
states.
How are we gonna
Yo,
do that? 50
no,
games?
there's
Bro, that's why I was
yo,
confused.
yeah.
There's 51.
Yo, yo,
Oh, Canada now? Yeah.
I
yo.
was super
The way
confused.
I processed that in my head made no sense. But like
No,
when you said
I'm
it, I
saying like we do
understood.
USA versus the world.
Yeah. Now I understand. Yeah.
Now I get it too.
Yeah.
Yo, imagine North America versus the world. That's unfair though. Shay?
No, all you're adding is
That would be
shit.
fair.
You're just adding
All
shit.
you're adding is shit.
Yeah,
And
that's
Jamal
true, eh?
Murray. Yeah, and Jamal Murray. Come on, bro.
But like, there's not that many All Stars. Like, what they should have done to make it popular, all the snubs should have had a team in there instead of the rookies.
But how do you determine the snub?
Oh, we want LaMelo Ball in that bitch. We want who else do we want in that? Who else do we want?
Whoa.
Sabonis,
Sabonis,
the Aaron,
Sharp.
Fox, bro. Swiper, no swiping.
Alright, what's the next question?
Yo,
I don't
so
have the question, sorry.
we're circling back to Shannon Sharp, OKC, UFC,
Lakers and
Lakers in 5. I want to know who y'all contenders and pretenders are, because like one team that I'm looking at is the New York Knicks. They can't beat a top team for shit. So Haitham, who are your contenders and pretenders?
I have the Knicks as a pretender. Who are our contenders? Are they mostly from the West?
This is your list.
Yeah, it's your list.
Why are you asking
Because
me?
there's only two
Like,
teams.
this
in
is
the
your
East. That's
list.
my question, bro.
How do
All
I
of them are
answer that?
contenders.
Then you tell us that they're pretenders.
Yo,
Alright, bro. Honestly,
How are you gonna ask for a question and then ask a question on the question you were asked? This
I
is
just need
crazy,
elaboration,
bro.
bro.
Be
'cause I can
better.
see it.
No,
I can
be
see,
better.
maybe, I don't know, bro. Honestly, you know what?
This isn't the first time you're seeing these questions, Haven. Be better. Be better.
I think OKC's a contender. I think well, Memphis is a pretender. I don't think they're that good. I think they're getting some wins on some teams, but I just don't think their consistency. They don't play enough together. Joker, we kind of saw what the Lakers could do to them. I guess if you game plan against them and just everyone else beat us. If you have a big body team, so I don't think they're really a contender. The Lakers, I don't really see it. Like, as much as I want to believe it, I don't see it. I know JJ is a top 5 coach. Can we agree on that at least? Yeah, he's a top 5 coach.
Yeah.
Said that from the beginning.
Oh, and you know what? I think coaches, those salaries should not be guaranteed. Those like if you're shitting the bed and not improving, I should be able to out you.
Like who?
Doc Rivers.
Yeah. What did you say, Perry?
I thought they were playing well. I said like who? Like to me, it's if you don't drop a name, we just
Oh,
chatty patties.
Darvin Ham's still getting paid. They fired him. They didn't let him go.
He didn't deserve to get fired.
And then I have the Celtics and the Cavs. You can go on, JLo. For as contenders.
Wait, yo, the Celtics and the Cavs as contenders?
Yeah, contenders.
I'm
Time
surprised
out,
you
time
didn't
out,
put
time out.
Houston on your list.
You have the Cavs as contenders?
Yeah.
Okay, so you believe that like the team that takes them out in the East would be the Celtics.
Yeah.
So you expect them in the finals if they don't see the Celtics.
Honestly, I expect them to beat the Celtics. But I've been on this Cavs are being good.
In how many games?
I think it's in 6.
That's fair. Okay.
But
I don't even know. Yo, Perry, you go next because I just want to save Jalen's brewing. You know, he's like turning Super Saiyan. So I'm gonna let him stew because I feel like some of the things that Perry says is gonna stew him too. So Perry, go.
Next, I don't have as contenders. I have them as pretenders mainly because I love Jalen Brunson, like I love him, but I think the team needs like a designated, just pure bucket getter. I don't trust him. Like, yeah, I don't trust him to carry me to a championship. Who else is a pretender in the East? I have the Celtics as my like contenders. Sorry, not the Celtics. I have the Cavs as my contenders. I like the way they're playing. I think the addition or acquisition of DeAndre Hunter was a big thing. I think Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, um, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Ty Jerome. I can rock with this team. Pretenders. I have the Bucks. I'm sorry. I don't think they're going to compete for anything. Um, and then my other contender is Celtics. So my two pretenders would be the Knicks and the Bucks, and my two contenders on the East would be the Cavs and the Celtics. And then the West side is interesting. I don't know how I feel about OKC, like championship wise. Like I think they're a phenomenal like regular season team right now, but championship wise, I don't know how I feel about them. So I'm not going to put them in either my contenders or pretenders list. They're just off it. I have. I like the thought of. I can't put the Lakers as pretenders, but I would be slightly surprised if they won a championship. Can I put them as my dark horse?
It's your list, bro.
Okay, my dark horse. I have the Lakers. I have OKC. And I have Dallas.
they're not going to make the playoffs, brother. That's like me
It's a
picking
dark horse,
Charlotte.
man.
That's like me picking
Then
Charlotte.
pick, then pick, then pick Charlotte. Dallas is eighth right now.
Brother, they're not in 8th. Let me check this out. There's no way they're in 8th.
Go ahead.
They're eighth. They're eighth.
I want 200 push-ups.
First of all, I agreed with you. They are eighth.
No, not from you, Jalen.
They're tied for 8th with the Golden State Warriors.
Okay, but does that make them ninth,
But
or
they're
does that
eighth,
make them
man.
eighth?
What do you mean? What?
Okay, continue. Sorry, my
Bro,
bad.
you owe me push-ups. No, you owe me push-ups. It wasn't your good.
Hold on. Push up.
Dallas is my dark horse. I have OKC up there. Because like I guess there's no other contenders in the West. In all honesty, I think the Lakers can be contenders. Lakers, OKC, Celtics, Cavs, and then I have Dallas as my dark horse.
What about the Nuggets?
I don't think Michael Porter Jr. has taken the jump that we talked about in the offseason.
So you trust the Dallas Mavericks more than you trust Denver?
Yo, bro, this
Yeah, by
guy's
far.
in love with Kyrie. Just leave it as it is, bro. Why are you asking
Yo,
questions?
last year when you guys asked me this question, and I said Dallas was gonna win it all, and Dallas ended up in the finals. Who came through and said,
A
"You know
broken
what,
clock
Perry?
is right twice a day."
All right, so let me be right this day. Let me be right today."
But they don't have
Yo, Jalen.
Wagwan.
Yo, what, Wagwan? How vexed are you about what was said?
I'm chilling, bro. I don't care.
Mm.
I'm gonna start with the West. I think the pretenders are the Mavericks. Exactly what I told you would happen with Anthony Davis is exactly what happened.
He got injured.
What was that?
So much for win now mode.
He got injured.
And I have the Warriors as pretenders. This team has a weird makeup. I don't think they have enough depth to do anything in the playoffs. I think Steph Curry is aging. So I have the Mavericks and Warriors as my pretenders. I have the Lakers as my contenders because I think JJ Redick is the most underrated coach in the NBA. I think he's a great basketball mind. And LeBron is playing absolutely out of his mind. He seems that he got 20 years younger. He should be drug tested just to make sure. Um, but yes, I have the Lakers as my contenders. And then I struggled between the Nuggets and the Thunder, but I'm gonna go with the Nuggets as a contender because the only thing that worries me about the Thunder is that they don't have enough offense. I personally haven't seen Jalen Williams. I haven't seen J Dub take the leap that I thought he would take offensively in terms of his offensive dominance um, to make to make the Thunder a contender. Sorry, I think they're very reliant on Shea, and I don't think that's enough in a 7 game series uh, to win a championship. Sorry, to win multiple series to get to a championship. In the East, obvious contenders, Boston. It pains my heart to say this, but the Cavs are playing so fucking well. And I think it's largely in part due to Kenny Atkins. What's his name, Bina? Atkinson? Atkins?
Atkinson.
Atkinson.
Oh, his name is Donovan Mitchell. Anyways, continue.
It's largely in part due to Kenny Atkinson and Darius Garland's play. I think both of them together. He got Darius Garland hooping. He got Evan Mobley hooping as well. Jared Allen. Ty Jerome was being useful. I think that's down to coaching. I think, anything else is really meh. And then obviously I have the Boston Celtics just because, they're better on the road than they are at home, which is kind of crazy.
Can I ask a question? What
Yeah,
happened to the Pacers?
they're still. I thought they fell off, but they're actually just fourth.
No, I get that, but I'm saying like, you mentioned Tyrese Halliburton when he was in like his draft year, and I always
Hmm.
thought Jalen's just speaking hogwash, but a broken clock is right twice a day, like you said. And
You,
watching
I love the terrorism. Continue.
watching like Tyrese Halliburton last year, to me,
Hmm.
and like in a lot of the conversations I've had about basketball, we said that he, and I guess like shout out to PK Subban because now I'm gonna start remembering games I wasn't alive to appreciate. A lot of people said they remind them of like a Magic Johnson. You remember Magic Johnson?
Who said this?
A lot of people who watched him, they're like, yo, like this is the next Magic Johnson in the league.
Interesting.
Yeah, bro, you don't remember from like the '83
Well,
All
I
Star
don't.
game,
Oh God, I
from
don't.
the '83 All Star game,
Oh,
all of the NBA we've been watching. A
yeah.
lot of
Were we
people
together?
with the '83
We
All Star
watched it
game. That's
together,
what I'm
no?
trying to tell you.
Yeah.
But a lot of people like gave him Magic Johnson comparisons. I don't know if you remember.
I don't.
Do we not remember the Magic Johnson comparisons?
I personally don't. I personally don't.
Okay, well, a lot of people did. Like, they compared his jump shot. They're like, oh, they both had a funky jump shot. I was like, okay, sweep that under the rug. They're like, but they're both offensive, like, visionaries, right? Like, where they, like, find players, their game is predicated off facilitating. They don't really have the biggest offensive bag. They love getting everybody involved. People actually want to line up and play with them. What
I
is
think
going
that so it's my fault for cutting you off. I think to answer your question, they stunted his growth with the acquisition of what's his name?
Siakam?
The Beyblade. The Beyblade. What's
Siakam.
the name?
Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, I think they stunted his growth with Siakam. I think because of Siakam's limitations, it doesn't allow them to get up and down and in transition. More specifically, Siakam's kind of like a ball stopper. He's kind of like a black hole in terms of when he gets the ball. Not only does the offense become stagnant, but very few people other than him touch the basketball. So as we see, Tyrese Halliburton's assist numbers have gone down.
Mhm.
His scoring has gone down. So I think that a roster shakeup is what's needed, and I think they should just go younger and faster. Benedict Mathurin, I think he's
And
going to
keep
continue to
Tyrese?
grow, and I would keep Tyrese, but that's a little bit of bias because I am high on Tyrese Halliburton. I truly think he was at his best when he just had athletic dudes who could run up and down the court, and he had floor spacers. If we think about early on in his Indiana tenure, he had Miles Turner, he had Obi Toppin, he had a roster. What's that dude's name? The shooter, not Nembhard.
Nemhard?
I forget his name. Neesmith, I think.
Yeah, Neesmith, Aaron Neesmith.
Yes, yeah. So he had guys who just wanted to get up and down and run, and um, and could space the floor, but are athletic as well. I think that's how you get the best out of Tyrese Halliburton. You know who Tyrese Halliburton actually reminds me of? Well,
Who?
he's got a little bit of Jason Kidd in him. If we think about the New Jersey Nets, Richard Jefferson, Vince Carter, it's obviously the players aren't to the same level as those two
It
players,
might have been
but it's
Jason
kind
Kidd
of the same
comparisons that I
roster
was
right there.
getting over Magic Johnson. My bad. It might have been Jason Kidd
Sorry,
comparisons. It might have been Jason
sorry.
Kidd comparisons I was getting. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
It might have been Jason Kidd comparisons I was getting instead of Magic Johnson. My bad.
yeah. Okay. Well, I see more Jason Kidd just in his ability to. Jason Kidd also had a funky jump shot when he first came into the league.
Hmm.
Um, but when you paired him with Vince Carter, Richard Jefferson, Kenyon Martin, and what's that big dude's name? Nenad Kristic, that roster of those years, I think Jason Kidd was super successful, and I think that's how you get the best out of the Pacers with Tyrese Halliburton. But they're still fourth, and the three teams above them are better. Cleveland, Boston, New York, they're all better than the
Would you
Pacers.
consider
Like we
trading
can all
him?
agree.
Would you consider trading him?
I mean, I think anybody's untouchable.
If I'm the
Wait, sorry.
Rockets, if I'm the
Um,
Rockets, I feel like that's a
I would go
stud.
out and get him.
If I'm the Rockets, yeah.
I would go out and get him. Yeah.
So one thing that I wanted to talk about is who needs a championship to solidify their legacy. I know we always talk about championships and legacies. Who in the NBA right now really needs one, and that will solidify their career? Like, there's one player that I'm thinking about, and I'm thinking about Chris Paul. Chris Paul
Fuck
gets a
that
lot.
nigga, bro.
What? I
Fuck
think
that nigga, bro.
with a championship, I think that solidifies his career.
Oh,
Yeah,
probably. I just hate him.
yeah, exactly. No, but I'm saying like he's one of those guys that comes to mind that I'm like, yo, you get a championship, no one could talk shit to you. You know what I'm saying? Another guy I look at is if KD does it without the Warriors. And if he won a championship with this Suns team, I'm looking at him a little differently. You know what I'm saying? So those are two players that come to mind. But I want to hear from you guys. Perry, I want to start with you. Who do you think would benefit legacy wise from having a ship?
I think Jimmy Butler is one. Mainly because with everything he's been doing, like for him to not come out with a championship would kind of be like, so what was all this for? Kevin Durant, I think, is another one because he's very gifted as a basketball player. However, like, um, I think the issue people are having with his game is that it's not translating to wins at a high level. Oh, I have a controversial one. LeBron, but not for the reasons you're thinking. If LeBron wins another championship, he's the greatest player of all time to ever play. It's not close. It's not even a debate anymore. If he wins another
Okay, yeah,
championship,
yeah, okay, yeah.
like, because right now, I think, like, it can be argued both ways. Not really, but it can be argued both ways. But if LeBron wins another championship, there's not a conversation about basketball someone could have without acknowledging that he's a GOAT.
Yeah, especially if at his age he's the one to lead that team to a championship.
Mhm. No, even
Yeah,
if he keeps with Luca, even if Luca wins Finals MVP.
yeah, but yeah, but look at like I'm not even talking about MVP. I'm just talking about leading the team.
Oh,
I think
100%.
like, yeah, it does. I don't care who wins MVP. He leads the team to the finals and wins a ship. It's yeah.
Um, I think for the Cavs, Kenny Atkinson, I think that would be a very like full circle moment. Like you fired me because you didn't think I was a winning coach in Brooklyn, and now look at us. But also Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. I think the small ball duo, it usually doesn't get the love it deserves. I think also if the Celtics win another one, like Jason Tatum, like that hate should be gone or
Mm,
the disrespect.
mm.
Actually, I have my top three. I have LeBron and Luca. I have AD and Kyrie, and I have Durant to wherever he goes.
All right. Hate them.
I was thinking about LeBron, but regardless, people are always going to have the debate. Even though LeBron wins two more championships, Jordan fans are going to be like, I'm going to pick Jordan regardless. So my picks would be, I think the New York Knicks with Jalen Brunson. I think if he wins a championship, I think
Thank you.
honestly, he's a Hall of Famer at that point, right? And I think New
You
York
don't
would
think he's a
probably
Hall of Famer right now? If he continues playing at this level for 2 more years?
Isaiah Thomas,
Which one?
the one that got injured on the Celtics. Is he a Hall of Famer?
He already cleared him. No, he already cleared him.
What do you mean?
If he has 2 more, if Jalen Brunson has 2 more seasons like this, like to me right now, he already cleared Isaiah Thomas.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that they're comparable right now. Is my point. Like, let's say he got injured right now and he fell off. He's going to be Isaiah Thomas, right?
He had 2 dominant playoff series.
Yeah, yeah. And Isaiah Thomas finished third in MVP voting as an under
But
6.
he only had 1 dominant, like he only had 1 like phenomenal season like that.
He had 2.
Yeah,
He
too.
averaged the
My
most
bad.
points in one of them in the league. No, well, didn't he average the most points or whatever?
He averaged 29.7.
Yeah, he led the league in scoring
At 5'9".
at 5'9".
So you're telling me if Brunson has another 2 seasons like this, because I personally already have him above IT.
Yeah, no, we're saying in the moment right now. You're saying in 2 seasons. In 2 seasons, anything could happen, right?
Fair.
So right now at this point, I think Isaiah Thomas is just on par with him. But he needs, like, if he won a championship, I think he's. Why are you upside down, fam?
Oh,
Yeah,
shit,
why
am
you
I?
sideways?
My fault.
Yo, bro, I'm so confused.
My fault.
So I have Jalen Brunson. I think Cat's also in that little mix as well, where he kind of becomes like more relevant in the whole picture. So I have like the Knicks team in general. I think if Joker could win again, I think he gets catapulted into like a different conversation. So like a lot of people have him,
Top 10.
a lot of people have him in
Yeah.
their top 10, but like some people are just like, I don't know if I can do it. And I think having another championship goes a long way for his like accomplishments. So
Mhm.
he would be one too.
If he wins MVP in a championship, is he the greatest player we've ever seen? Like his run has to be the greatest we've ever seen.
I saw LeBron, so
How many MVP? How many MVP
four.
does LeBron have? 4. If Nikola Jokic wins another one, he has 4, right?
In a row.
No, he
No?
had 2, gap 2.
Oh.
So
they gave
if he
it to
wins
him.
another one, he's the best player we've ever seen.
Why? LeBron has 4, and he has 4 chips.
He'll have 5, but he'll have 5.
Joker has 3 right now. He has to win 2 more.
Okay.
Oh, he's better
Yeah.
than Kyrie?
Skill wise or like overall career wise?
I'm not going to.
Boy, you didn't ask that with LeBron. You didn't ask that with LeBron. You can't do that.
It's not about that. Yeah, he'll be better than Kyrie.
And then my next one, I think Dame really needs it. They really need it. I think Dame is like, I think right now he's.
True, I forgot about
But in
Dame.
Milwaukee,
No, I think he just needs one for his legacy. I think it's one of those things where like, what has he been known for? He's a top 75 player, but it's like he's a top 75.
does he get it in Milwaukee?
I don't know. Well, he has to get it. This is just a hypothetical to like get his legacy of it's more like.
No, but that's what I'm asking. Like, do you see him
You're
and
so funny, bro. He said, I don't know.
do you see him and Giannis getting a championship together?
No, I don't see it in Milwaukee. I think maybe in the offseason if they can make a couple more trades. I think the Bobby Portis taking the wrong drug kind of fucked them up a little bit, but that's Bobby Portis' problem. But I think they just have too many bigs. Like I think they need more like wing defenders instead of like Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, Giannis, kind of like counterproductive. But I think Dame, just because the last thing I noticed, like what do we remember from Dame, like destroying the OKC team? When was that? 2018. I know Jalen was still living in that time, but yeah, I think also I don't know why he's a top 75 player over like Kyrie. It's like or Dwight Howard. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things where
Kyrie's was political, and we all know it.
Oh yeah, it's political 100%. But I'm just saying like.
Okay, as long as we know that.
Yeah.
J-Log.
I have 3, so no particular order. I have James Harden. I think he really needs one to solidify his legacy. Arguably one of the greatest scorers of all time. Came the closest to dismantling that Golden State team. Second, I have Russ. I think Russ desperately needs a championship. Mostly for me.
Jill, can I ask you a question though on the James Harden point? Does it elevate his career in any way if he wins a championship right now? Like he's not the main guy. That's what
I don't think like if he. Who's playing Pop Rocks, bro?
It's Quabs.
What?
I don't think it. I don't think it necessarily elevates, but like if he doesn't win, there's no detriment to his career type thing. Like it's like it is what it is if he wins or doesn't type thing. But I think that
But is it,
if based on his career so far, I do think he does need one in order to be in those conversations of top 25, top 30 players in the league ever. Because there's some dudes we can't put him ahead of in in the top 30 conversation, the top 25 conversation.
Like who?
better than Charles Barkley?
Vince Carter, Kevin Garnett,
But
Charles
Vince Carter's
Barkley,
never won.
Dwayne Wade.
Vince Carter's never won.
I know.
Are you comparing
That's my
Dwayne
point.
Wade to him? Is that the comparison right now you're doing?
Yeah,
Dwayne Wade's third
like
best
it's
shooting
always like
guards of all time.
who's better, Dwayne Wade or James Harden?
But
And I
Dwayne
think
Wade's
that
third in the top 5 shooting guards of all time.
I know. And if James Harden gets a championship, I think it's an argument that you can flip them.
Okay, but like by everything we're saying now, James Harden, is he a top 5 all time? Like at his position?
A top 5 shooting guard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see top 7.
Who's ahead of him?
Who you have ahead of him?
Yeah,
Because
who's ahead of him?
I have him at 5th.
I just said top 7 to be safe because off the dome, I couldn't tell you. Obviously, there's Kobe, Dwayne
Jordan,
Wade,
Wade,
Mike, T-Mac.
Team
Iverson, not T-Mac. I have Iverson.
Is Iverson
Do-
not a point guard?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was gonna ask. Do we have Iverson as a point guard or a shooting
They
guard?
have him as
I have him as a shooting guard. I have him as a shooting
Oh,
guard.
so he's a shooting guard. Okay. So we'll put AI.
No,
And then I have Harden. Why?
Yeah, so top 7. So we're 6. Okay, top 6.
I have Iverson over Harden.
top 5.
I have
No, but my
Harden
point
at,
is, like,
at like
if-
the cusp of my top 5.
My point is, if he wins a ring, there's no discussion.
He doesn't really move.
You understand what I'm saying? Like he's absolutely top 5, and he's arguing to be in that top
Three?
3 spot.
Okay.
Does that make
want you
sense?
to elaborate on
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
it.
fair.
Elaborate on it.
That's fair.
For the viewers.
Appreciate that. And then obviously I have Russ second. I think he needs one for his legacy, averaging the triple double, the MVP, and just for the narrative on Russ that you can't win with Russ. I think is important for his legacy and his ability to get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he can't get that without it.
Huh?
I said he won't get that jacket without it, right? Okay, Marcus Camby. Anyways, continue, bro.
Don't let him say things to hurt your feelings, Jalen. He's only saying that to hurt you.
And then lastly, I have Jason Tatum. And the reason I have Jason Tatum is because the only reason I have Jason Tatum is because he didn't win Finals MVP. So I think he needs to go on a run in which he wins a championship and he's Finals MVP to solidify his legacy.
Can I ask a follow-up
Yes,
question?
ma'am. Yeah,
If they win and he doesn't win it, does it hurt his legacy even more?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it hurts it drastically.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Interesting.
Can you elaborate on that?
I just think if Jaylen Brown is deemed the best player in 2 championship runs where you're supposed to be the face of the league, Nike's exiled him, Team USA's exiled him, and he's still deemed the best player on your team, I think that's a bad look for your legacy.
But
It's
here's
a
my
very
question
bad
then.
look.
What about Curry? Because Curry, he has one championship. He has one Finals MVP on 4 rings.
Mhm.
And I understand what we can say, like Andre Iguodala didn't deserve it, and KD came to a winning team, and they're already the best, and they triple teamed him. But at the end of the day, the hardware is the hardware. Do you feel like Curry's legacy was made, like in 2022? I guess.
I think Curry's the only player in which we allow him to consistently fail and not hold it against him.
Do you think it's because he's a point guard?
I don't know if that's the reason, but I think that his PR team does a tremendous job
Because statistically,
because if we're gonna have him in the same conversations as LeBron when he's winning, in my opinion, we don't have him in the same conversations as LeBron when he's losing. We don't treat him the same.
well, LeBron's position is the most important.
that
in
makes sense.
basketball. But LeBron's position is the most important in
Sorry?
basketball. LeBron's position is the most important in basketball, which is why I feel like Curry gets like more of a pass, whereas like a Durant wouldn't, or any other like shooting guard, or not really a shooting guard, but like small forward would.
But you could argue that Curry's sort of stature in the league and Curry's brand is damn near close to LeBron's.
But that's because the bar
Like he's
for
internationally known. So,
but the bar
like in
for
my
small
opinion,
forwards is way too low. Sorry, is way too high, whereas the bar for point guards is low. Because Curry is the
Okay.
last point guard to win a Finals MVP, and the one before that was Tony Parker in 2014, then Chauncey Billups in 2003, and then I believe it was Isaiah Thomas. Whereas LeBron last year, who won the chip? It was Jalen Brown,
Yeah.
shooting guard. The year before was who? It was Jokic, center, but that's traditionally the most important position. It's either the center or
No,
the
but
small
yo,
forward. So like when you
can I
look
just
at,
throw?
my bad, let me just get this point out. So
Yeah.
when you have like a small forward being compared to other small forwards, it's like why aren't you winning championships like LeBron, like Kawhi, like Durant, versus a point
Okay, I get
guard.
your
When
point.
you
Yeah.
look at that same type of argument, you can't then look at a point guard and be like, why aren't you winning championships? Because a point guard
Mhm.
is not expected to win championships. That's just my
But it's not.
hypothesis.
I completely understand what you're saying, but to me, it's if you I don't care about your position. If you have him in the same conversation as LeBron, and Curry sexuals always tell me that Curry is an upper echelon past LeBron. They have Curry sexuals have him as the greatest player of all time, and I've seen him in top 10 lists, which personally I don't get, but I digress. So if you have him at that level, I have to hold you to the same standard as I hold LeBron.
But how do
And
you
the
hold
media
them to
does
the
not
same
do that.
standard
People
when
don't, basketball fans don't do that.
Bro, he's the
But
top
how do
five
you hold
player.
them to the same standard? But how do you hold them to the same standard when the expectations are fundamentally different? Because think about it. What's his name? John Stockton is a top five point guard of all time. Rankings, ratings, like unanimously, people say he's a top five point guard. Can we agree with that?
Hmm.
Hmm.
He has no rings.
He's not a top five point guard.
I don't think so either. But like, he has no rings.
But I'm telling you, he's not a top five point guard. So it doesn't
So
matter.
who do you have over him?
You on my list right now? Right now?
Yeah, give me five.
Okay, I have Well, I have Steph Curry. I have Magic Johnson. This is in no order whatsoever. I have Jason Kidd.
No
Obviously,
rings.
what?
Oh, one ring. Jason Kidd has one ring
Yeah,
Jason Kidd has one ring.
with Dallas, but that was like way past his prime.
yeah.
But he still has a ring.
Okay.
I have Tony Parker. Just me personally. Tony Parker over him, and I have probably
Who?
Tony Parker.
Wow. Okay.
Wait, he was probably one of the best point guards at that time. He was just on the Spurs system, right?
Yeah, I think tremendously overrated, but it is what it is.
You think he's overrated?
I think tremendously overrated.
Oh, you're just a hater, bro. Well, we already knew you were a hater.
I didn't know.
Yeah. All right, next time on
Because
what?
because the other thing that I was gonna say to your point, Perry, when you're talking about how other positions are harder than the point guard position, I wanted to put this out there. Isn't it harder now to be a point guard anyways? The From when Chauncey won it till now, the position of point guard has evolved and has gotten a lot harder. Point guards are not even point guards a
No,
lot of the time
I
because you
fundamentally
have
disagree
guys
with
like
that point.
LeBron who are playing point guard. You have people like Joker who are bringing up the ball. The point guard like position has changed. So doesn't that come into account when we're talking about point guards like that?
Yes and no. The point guard position changed, in my opinion, because we have smaller shooting guards, right? So like Kyrie is a shooting guard to me. Like he's a scorer, he's a bucket. Curry, same like sort of, because if you look at Curry's responsibilities and you look at Chauncey Billups' responsibilities, they essentially like if you just describe their roles on their team, you think they play different positions. I think now we're watching the rise of like I think where Curry changed the game is that he made it so that you can still call him a point guard when he's doing things that like you would want your two doing.
Mm.
But the role and responsibilities of a point guard has always been constant, but the position has changed. So rather than your smallest guy on the court being someone with the best like court vision, being the best facilitator and all of that, you're now seeing LeBron do that at his size. And rather than your best scorer being a center, you're now seeing smaller players score at a higher clip. Rather than your shooting guards being 6'6", 6'7", with a 40-inch vertical that jump from the free throw line and dunk on anybody, you're now watching a 6'1", 6'2" guard shoot from 40 feet. The positions have changed drastically, which is why like I feel Curry isn't he's the beneficiary of that shift, like that modality of thinking. But in that same respect, I guess, like he's not held by the same standard that a LeBron is. Because if you look at the Finals MVPs, if you look at all of those, like if you look at the Finals MVPs, to me, you can find the most important position in basketball because it's going to show a trend, right? Your Finals MVP is going to show like this is traditionally where the league is at. So if you look like when the league first started versus now, you're going to find that we have a lot less centers as not only MVPs but Finals MVPs. Looking at Curry, when we look at the league in the same fashion, rather than seeing a 6'6" shooting guard, we're seeing 6'2", 6'3" shooting guards who are just labeled as point guards because, like, height wise, they're deficient.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. So, next time on Broken Plays, we'll find out who.
PK
I don't know.
Subban watch.
I'm just fucking around. Pardon?
We'll see who. Next time on Broken Plays, we'll watch some PK Subban highlights. Oh,
Yo, he was dope.
These
Stop
got hate in their
hating.
hearts, bro.
Yo, for real,
Bro,
stop hating.
if you're out here and you're hanging your hat on being a great defender, and then you're talking about All-Star games, swerve into a tree twice. That's terrible, bro. No one wants to see an All-Star game of defenders. Do you want to see 10 Joakim Noahs on the same court? No offense to Joakim Noah. I think he's an instrumental part of that Chicago run. He was great for all of that stuff. Phenomenal basketball player. I'm not holding any of that against him. But I would rather swallow bleach with a toddler's pen than watch an All-Star game of Joakim Noahs and Draymond Greens. Respectfully.
yo, so next time
This is pure 100% concentrated, no pulp hatred.
from
That's
who?
not hate.
No, for real.
That's not hate.
From who?
He also said, he said, swerve into a tree twice. He said, I'd rather swallow weed.
Yeah.
Would
That
you want to
was
watch
live on live
Draymond?
TV saying he watched Michael Jordan play.
Bro, that's what.
He's not lying
What?
My question is this: with everything I said, am I lying?
about the bleach.
No, about the defense
No, he was correct.
at
About
All-Star games.
no, he was correct.
No one wants to see that. Who wants it? Like, and all respect to Draymond, but what did Draymond say when he felt that his game was kind of taking like a slight decline or whatever? He's like, back when I was younger, I used to be a scorer. Why do you think he's saying that? Because nobody wants to see the greatest help defender in an All-Star game.
Yo. On that note, that's it for Broken Plays. We gotta get the hate out of Perry's heart.
Bro, take it out this heart, bro. Take it out this. Someone has to take this out the heart, bro.